What is going on, ladies and gents? Once again, Michael or Legacy Kill HD back today with another Elder Scrolls 6 video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the Daedric princes, and we're going to be going through specifically which one could be the biggest threat in the Elder Scrolls 6. But to start, guys, I'm actually going to give you some background information on who the Daedra is, just in case some of you guys don't know. But the Daedra are a race of supernatural entities that inhabit the plains of Oblivion. The most powerful Daedra are known as Daedric princes. I'm actually going to throw an icon on the screen so you guys can get an idea of these 17 princes, although only 16 are actually mentioned in Skyrim. The most notable Daedric prince being Mehrunes Dagon, the Prince of Destruction and Change, who was obviously the antagonist of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And then if you guys did play Elder Scrolls Online, you would know that Molag's Ball is the main antagonist, who is the Prince of Domination. But nonetheless, the Daedra actually are a very interesting race. They have played a major role in the Elder Scrolls games. They also have some really badass armor that I love using in Skyrim. I really do like the way that they were used in Skyrim. I like the fact that they had shrines, and I like the fact that they each had pretty much a quest that was associated with them, or they had some type of role in the game. And what came out of these quests or roles was a unique item, like Mehrunes Razor, the Mace of Molag Bal, Azura Star, and etc., maybe Wobblejack. I mean, there was just different types of items that we could use in different types of ways. But what we got through these quests was a vision of what these Daedra were like. We got to see who they were and pretty much how evil they are. One of the big hopes that I have for the Elder Scrolls 6 is that we are able to visit more of these plains of Oblivion. We got to obviously see the Deadlands in Oblivion, and then we got to see Cold Harbor and Elder Scrolls Online, if you did play it obviously, since it's not a Bethesda Game Studios title, and I know a lot of people just ignored it. Getting back on point, even if we aren't able to return to Mehrunes Dagon's or Molag Bal's realms, it would be fun to explore some of the realms that we haven't been to yet, like Azura's Moonshadow, which is said to be a giant garden full of roses, a city of silver and breathtaking vistas brimming with waterfalls, flowers, and majestic trees where the wind and rain carry heady perfumes and the colors blur. The goddess herself resides in a palace of roses. The realm holds such beauty that it makes mortals half blind. But would be interesting seeing how our player would actually have to battle through that, but we don't necessarily know what our character actually will be, if it is necessarily a mortal. And then we have other realms like Azura's sister Nocturnal's Evergloam, which we really don't know much about, but all that we know is that it has some connection with luck that thieves seem to enjoy. I think it's going to be very fun to see the quests that are associated with these different planes of Oblivion. Each Daedric prince has their own role, and visiting unexplored realms will help us get an even better understanding to what goals they have. But we could also explore other realms, as it is said there are infinite planes of Oblivion, and the scholars of Tamriel have only discovered a handful. Let me know in the comments what planes of Oblivion you want to explore and why. Now let's get down to the main topic of this video, which is who is the most important Daedric prince in the Elder Scrolls 6, and I believe that is Jyggalag. He was not even mentioned as a Daedric prince in Skyrim, and it's kind of crazy just being that in Oblivion he played a very vital role in Shivering Isles, as he was pretty much the main antagonist. But to give some quick backstory of what happened to Jyggalag, he was at one time the most powerful of Daedric princes. He represents logical order and deduction. He was so powerful that the other princes began to fear him and his power. As a result, they cursed him to live in opposition of everything he stood for, to live the life of a madman and bring chaos and insanity rather than order and logic. Henceforth, Jyggalag became known as the Daedric Prince of Madness, Sheogorath. And he was allowed to return to his original form once after every era and an event in the Shivering Isles known as the Grey March. To get straight to the point, when the Shivering Isles DLC happens, our protagonist of Oblivion, the hero Kvetch, is sent to Sheogorath's realm, Shivering Isle, in which we foil Jyggalag's plans, but doing so we release him from his curse. Jyggalag, again free to wander Oblivion in his true form, disclosed his story to the champion and named him the new Prince of Madness before departing into the void of Oblivion. So what happens in Skyrim is it's pretty much that Sheogorath is the character that we played in Oblivion. But we're left with not knowing what's next for Jyggalag. Some think he is regaining power as he has taken account of every detail of Nirn and of every action that has ever taken place on Mundus or Oblivion long before they actually happened, which in some ways maybe he knew what was going to happen to him, which leaves us with what's next for Jyggalag. Could he be waiting on an event, possibly the Dwemer's return, or maybe the Thalmor's takeover of Tamriel, in which he must intervene with our Elder Scrolls 6 main character to bring order? or he could be waiting to get revenge on the princes who gave him that curse, which maybe he sees the only way for order is to get control of the other princes. Either way, in the next Elder Scrolls game, I think that we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Jyggalag. We're actually going to find out what he has been doing in the meantime, or we're going to figure out what he is up to. Anyway guys, let me know in the comment section what Daedric prince you think will be having the biggest role in the next Elder Scrolls game. You guys have heard what I think, but maybe you have a different varying opinion. Let me know. Let's get the discussion going. And make sure you guys smack that like button if you did enjoy the video. And make sure you share your thoughts and subscribe for more Elder Scrolls 6 videos to come. And I'll see you guys later.